The Hydra estate stood on a hill, not a tall one, a gentle slope, covered with old oaks that had grown here even before the first Count Hydra laid the foundation of the main house. The oaks remembered everything, the first Count, the second, the third. Now there was a fourth, Count Hydra Solar, tall, dark-haired, with that particular straight back that people raised from childhood to hold themselves upright, 10 to half. A magical warrior of rank B, one of the best in the province of Kervin. Not the wealthiest count, not the most influential, but respected. For his honesty, for his directness, for keeping his word. His wife, Countess Mira, had died 3 years ago, quietly, from an illness that was not caught in time. She left behind 2 sons. The elder, Kayan Hydra, 16 years old, already training under a sword master, his magical core forming well. His father looked at him with that particular satisfaction that comes from seeing a younger version of yourself. The younger, Leo Hydra, 8 years old. Leo was an inconvenient child. Not mean, not cruel. Inconvenient, precisely. The kind who asks questions adults don't want to answer. The kind who pokes around where he wasn't asked to. The kind who, in response to "you can't," asks "why?" and does not accept "because you can't" as an answer. His etiquette tutor, the elderly Master Volan, spoke of him to the Count with an expression that meant patient despair. Young Master Leo has again. And then something new each time. Again climbed onto the stable roof. Again argued with the cook about why one cannot eat sweets before dinner. Again disappeared for 3 hours and was found in the library reading the province's military history, a book that even Kayan had never touched. Count Solar listened to Master Volan's complaints, nodded, said he would speak with his son, and sometimes, when no one was watching, smirked. Mira, he thought in such moments. This is your character. Definitely yours. Leo resembled his mother not in appearance, in character. The same liveliness, the same stubbornness, the same absolute refusal to accept the world as it is without questioning it. In appearance, neither his father nor his mother. Dark-haired like his father, but slimmer. Eyes gray, light, quick. Small for his 8 years, fine-boned, with long hands. He moved quickly and quietly, which, given his character, was a particularly dangerous combination. You could never hear him coming. Kayan, the older brother, treated him with the condescending tenderness that older children tend to have toward younger ones who haven't grown up yet. Sometimes he chased him off. More often he protected him, taught him things, how to hold a training sword, how to fall properly, how to read tracks on the ground. Leo absorbed everything. Hungry for everything. Old stable hand Bert once said of him. Children like that either become great or get into trouble so deep there's no way back. Bert knew people. He was not wrong. He just didn't yet know how right both options were at the same time. The letter arrived at the beginning of autumn. Leo saw his father reading it in the study. The door not quite closed. He was passing by on his way to the library. He stopped, looked through the gap. His father was reading, face calm, professional. Then he folded the letter, placed it on the table, stared out the window for several seconds. Then stood and called, "Kayan." Leo stepped back from the door, waited for Kayan to pass, then followed quietly, keeping to the far wall, nearly invisible. A royal summons, his father said to Kayan. The Count of Kervin and 8 other aristocrats of the province have been called to the capital. The council advising the king is being expanded. A pause. They expect me in 3 weeks. For long? Asked Kayan. A month. Maybe 2. Count Solar looked at his elder son. You will be in charge. Master Volan will help with the household. Master Darren with the guard. Kayan nodded. Seriously, in an adult way. He already knew how. And Leo? He asked. Leo stays with you. The Count had already spotted the younger one by the wall. Leo, how did you end up here? I was passing by, said Leo. By accident. The door was open. 3 centimeters. I'm slim, said Leo. Kayan hid a smirk. His father looked at Leo with an expression that was simultaneously stern and that other, hidden one. The one Master Volan never saw because it only appeared when they were alone. You heard? Yes, said Leo. Questions? I'll come with you, said Leo. No. Why? Because you are 8 years old and I am going to the king's capital for an official council. I won't be in the way. Leo, I'll be quiet. Leo, said his father, in that voice he used when the conversation was over. No, you are staying with Kayan. It's decided. Leo looked at him, then nodded. He agreed too easily, thought Cain. That's suspicious. Cain knew his brother. For 3 weeks Leo behaved impeccably. That was genuinely suspicious. Master Volan noticed and mentioned it to the Count. The Count noticed it himself. Cain watched closely but couldn't catch anything. Leo studied, ate on time, didn't climb onto the roof, didn't argue with the cook. He read in the library, but that was normal. What he was actually doing in the library was reading maps. The roads from the estate to the capital, distances, towns along the way, travel time. And he was watching the convoy being assembled in the courtyard. For carriages. The first, his father's, large, bearing the Hydran coat of arms. The second, for the advisor and personal secretary. The third, for the accompanying servants. The fourth, a cargo carriage, supplies and belongings. The fourth carriage was the largest, the most loaded, the most convenient for hiding among crates and bundles. Leo studied it for 3 days. When it was loaded, when it was inspected, when the guards left for lunch. On the 3rd day, he found a spot. Between 2 large crates of provisions, behind a bundle of blankets. Dark, cramped, but enough for an 8-year-old boy who was slim. He took a little food, a flask of water, a warm cloak. A book. Without a book, it would be boring. On the day of departure, he woke before dawn. He said goodbye to Cain, who was still asleep. Leo quietly entered his room, stood there, and left. I'm sorry, he thought. I'll come back. I just want to see the capital. He made his way to the 4th carriage, climbed in, settled down, and waited. It grew light. The courtyard filled with sounds, servants' voices, the clatter of horses, commands. Count Solar was saying farewell to Cain. Leo could hear the voices, but not the words. Then the carriage moved. We're going, thought Leo. His heart quickened. That mixture of fear and excitement he loved. The one that told him he was doing something real. He peered through a small gap between the boards. The Hydran estate, the hill, the oaks, fell away behind him. Goodbye, he thought. I'll be back soon. The first day went well. It swayed, it was cramped, and after a few hours the smell of the provisions made him a little queasy, but Leo endured. He read when there was light through the cracks. Dozed. Thought. At the first big stop in the evening, he nearly got caught. A servant reached behind a crate for something. Leo managed to press himself deeper under the bundle. The servant took what he needed and left without looking. Phew, Leo exhaled. At night it was cold. The cloak helped, but not completely. He lay and stared into the darkness, and thought that next time he would bring 2 cloaks. Next time, then he realized. If Father finds out before we reach the capital, there won't be a next time for 10 years. The second day also went well. The road was smooth, the weather dry. Leo got to the apple he had brought along and ate it carefully so it wouldn't crunch. The convoy moved fast. The Count was in a hurry. By Leo's calculations, they should arrive at the capital on the 4th day if there were no stops. On the 3rd day, everything changed. He heard it first. Not immediately. The horses first. Unease, then panic. The horses neighed sharply. High. Not the way they neigh for no reason. The way they neigh when they sense danger. Something large. The carriage jerked. Stopped. Then shouting. Several voices at once. Then a sound Leo had never heard before. Low. Wet. Heavy. As if a mountain were alive and displeased. The ground beneath the carriage shuddered. Leo peered through the gap. He saw it. And didn't understand at first what he was seeing, because it was too large to take in quickly. A Hydra. He had read about them in the province's military history, in bestiaries he had secretly taken from the far shelves of the library. He knew them in theory. But theory and this were entirely different things. 8 heads, each on a long neck as thick as the trunk of an old oak. A body enormous, lumpy, wetly green, the size of a house. From a bog beside the road. It had risen from a bog that had seemed shallow and harmless. The convoy's guard, magical warriors, 8 men, was already in combat. Ranks C and D, capable fighters. But a Hydra was something else. A class of creature that required a squad of rank B at minimum. Leo's father, he spotted him, had stepped out of the first carriage. His aura flared. Rank B, golden white, impressive. His magical sword drawn. Alone against a Hydra. Bad. The battle. Leo watched through the gap and did not breathe. The guard held for 5 minutes. 10. The Hydra was losing heads, 2 severed. His father worked the sword precisely, his strikes splitting necks where others could not. but the heads grew back, quickly before his eyes. The one severed 5 minutes ago was already back. Regeneration. A Hydra cannot be killed by cutting off heads, Leo recalled from the book. You must destroy the mana core. It is at the center of the body. Without the core, regeneration stops. He wanted to shout to his father, but realized that a shout in the middle of a battle would accomplish nothing. Father knows. All warriors know. The problem is getting to the body through 8 heads. The battle passed 15 minutes. The guard was thinning. 2 badly wounded. 1 had fallen and wasn't moving. His father held on, but his aura was weakening. Visibly, the golden-white light dimming. Then one of the heads struck the second carriage. Simply demolished it. The carriage into splinters, the horses scattered. Then the third carriage. Leo felt the fourth carriage shudder. A Hydra's head brushed its side, not deliberately. Just the movement of an enormous body passing by. But it was enough. The crates inside shifted. The bundle of blankets fell. Directly onto Leo. Oh, he thought. The bundle pinned him to the wall. Heavy. Leo pushed against it, tried to get free. The carriage shuddered again, harder. Another crate shifted and struck the side wall from within. The wall cracked open. Leo tumbled out. Onto the road. Right in the middle of the battle. He stood for a moment, not understanding. He looked around. The Hydra, 3 meters away. Run, said all the reason he had left. He ran. He didn't make it. The head lunged down. The jaws opened, and Leo had time to think only one thing. Those are very large teeth, before darkness. Darkness, then the sensation of movement. Downward. Slippery, wet, warm, unpleasantly warm, like a bathhouse that is too hot. A smell. Leo tried not to think about the smell. I'm inside the Hydra, he realized. That was the strangest thought he had ever had. I was swallowed by a Hydra. I'm inside. This is happening. Panic came. Real, sharp, squeezing his chest. Dark, slippery, little air, and he was alone, an 8-year-old boy, inside a monster bigger than a house. Help, he said aloud. Quietly. Then louder. Help. No one answered. Of course no one will answer, he thought. The anger at himself for panicking pushed the panic aside a little. That helped. Think. You're inside a Hydra. What do you know about Hydras? The mana core is at the center of the body. A Hydra cannot die without the core being destroyed. The mana core is concentrated magical energy, physically a sphere, usually located around the center of the torso or chest of the creature. I'm inside the Hydra. The mana core is also inside the Hydra. Somewhere. He tried to move. Difficult, slippery, the walls of the space around him contracting and expanding. The esophagus, he realized, trying not to think about it too concretely. He was moving downward under peristalsis and his own weight. Then he fell. Softly, relatively. The stomach. More space here. Not much, but more than the esophagus. Wet, dark, smells terrible. He felt acid on his skin, a light burning. Doesn't kill immediately, which means there's time. A little. He stood, extended his arms, and felt the walls. Soft, warm, alive. The mana core, he thought. It must be here. Or nearby. A creature's mana core is its center of life. Physically, warm, dense, glowing. He felt along the walls. Nothing. Below? Above? He crawled along the wall. The acid burned more strongly. The cloak protected somewhat. The skin on his hands did not. He endured. Then he felt it. Warmth. A different warmth. Not the wet warmth of the stomach. Dry, intense, coming from within the wall. Like embers. He found the spot. The wall here was denser, harder, and it glowed. Faintly, through the tissue, in a bluish-white light. There it is, Leo realized. The manosphere. He pressed his hand against it. The heat intensified. Not burning. Just hot. Like a stove you can't hold your hand against. What now, he thought. What can I do with a mana core through the wall of a Hydra's stomach? Being an 8-year-old boy with no magical core and no weapon. Nothing sensible. The acid was burning his knees. Time was running out. Nothing sensible, he repeated. But what about something not sensible? He looked at the wall where the sphere glowed. In the book it said the mana core was physically softer than the surrounding tissue. It is concentrated energy, not a physical substance. The tissue around it is thinner. It was a mad idea. Leo knew that. An 8-year-old boy was going to gnaw through the wall of a Hydra's stomach, reach the mana core, and then what? Break it. Eat it. What happens if you eat the mana core of a monster, he thought. He didn't know. The books didn't write about that. No one had ever been mad enough to try. No one except me. Right now, thought Leo. Because there are no other options. The acid was already at his elbows. The burning had become pain. He pressed himself against the wall, found the thinnest spot above the sphere, took hold of it, and tried to tear it. The tissue would not tear with his hands. Teeth. He pressed close and began, not thinking about what he was doing, because if he thought it would be impossible, biting, gnawing, slowly, centimeter by centimeter. The tissue was tough, alive, unpleasant. The Hydra jerked. Something changed outside in the body's movements. It had felt something inside. Faster, Leo told himself. Another centimeter. Another. And the sphere burst through. Literally fell out of the torn tissue, right to him. Small, the size of a fist, bluish-white, hot, almost weightless. A glowing ball of mana in his hands. The Hydra jerked again. Harder. The walls contracted. No time to think. Leo opened his mouth, placed the sphere on his tongue. It had no taste. Or it had a taste he had never experienced before and could not describe. Something between hot metal and storm air, and a third thing that had no name. He swallowed. 1 second. 2. 3. Then the world inside him exploded. There was no pain. That was the first thing he noted. He had expected pain, thought it would hurt. But no, it was something else. A warmth that spread from his stomach through his entire body in an instant, to his fingertips, to the top of his head. Alive, pulsing, foreign, and at the same time his. As if a missing piece had fallen into place. Outside, the Hydra. Outside, the Hydra screamed. Not the way creatures cry when they are in pain. The way they cry when they are dying. A deep, wet, inhuman scream. 8 throats at once, then 6, then 4, then silence. The walls around Leo went limp. Became different, not alive. Dead. The Hydra had died. Leo stood in the darkness of the dead stomach and felt the warmth inside him pulsing. Steadily. Constantly. Like a second heart that had not been there before. What is happening to me, he thought. Not panic, just a question. Honest, direct. I swallowed the mana core of a Hydra. The Hydra died. I'm alive. The warmth inside, that is its mana. It's inside me now. What does that mean? He didn't know. He had to get out first. He felt along the wall, dead tissue, soft now. Found the spot where he had gnawed through earlier. Widened it with his hands. The tissue gave way more easily than he expected. Noticeably more easily, as if his hands had become stronger than he remembered. I'll think about that later, he told himself. He pushed through the tissue, through the Hydra's body, upward. Dark, he navigated by touch. It took a long time, several minutes of making his way through the monster's innards. Then he saw light. From outside, breaking through a cut in the Hydra's body. Someone outside was striking, the sound of a sword, magical light glowing through the tissue. Here, Leo shouted. The sound stopped. Here, he shouted again. The cut widened. Sharply, powerfully, one strike and the tissue parted, and in the opening appeared light. And a silhouette. Count Solar. His face was white. Not from wounds, from something else. He was staring at the cut in the body of the dead Hydra. Then Leo climbed out. Stood beside his father, covered in moisture and acid and things best not thought about, his cloak half eaten away, red patches of acid burns on his hands and knees. He looked at his father. His father looked at him. A long silence. Leo, said Count Solar. Father, said Leo. A pause. You were hiding in the carriage, said his father, his voice completely level, which was more frightening than shouting. Yes. The 4th carriage. The bundles. Yes. From the first day? From the morning of the 2nd. A pause. Left on the morning of the 1st day. Count Solar looked at his son. At the wet, acid-burned 8-year-old boy standing beside a dead Hydra. Then he dropped to his knees. Right on the road, without a thought for his cloak. He embraced Leo tightly, without words. Leo felt his father trembling. Just slightly. Barely perceptibly. The way people tremble when they have been very afraid and are now letting it go. He thought I was dead, Leo realized. He saw the Hydra swallow me and thought I was dead. I'm sorry, Leo said quietly. His father said nothing. Just held him. Around them, the remains of the convoy. Surviving guards, 3. The rest were wounded or worse. The carriages, the first had survived, the others were damaged. The dead Hydra was sprawled across the road. Enormous, no longer a threat. One of the guards approached. He looked at Leo with the expression people have when looking at something they cannot explain. "My Lord Count," he said slowly, "the Hydra did not die from our attacks. We saw it. It simply fell. All at once. Something happened inside it." Count Solar stood, looked at his son. Leo looked back. He felt the warmth inside pulsing, alive, his. "I know," said the Count, and from his voice it was clear that he did not know what to do with that. Later. First, the healer. They set up a temporary camp by the road. Moving on immediately was impossible. Too many wounded. A healer examined Leo. The acid burns were not deep, painful. He treated and bandaged them. He looked at the boy with the professional surprise that healers usually keep hidden. "How long were you inside the Hydra?" he asked. "I don't know," said Leo. "It felt like a long time. The stomach acid of a Hydra dissolves metal in a matter of minutes," the healer said quietly. Not to Leo, more to himself. "Cloth in 10 minutes. He looked at the burns. "Your burns are mild. Superficial." Leo said nothing. The healer said nothing either. Wrote something down. Left. Count Solar came in when the healer had gone. Sat across from him. Looked at his son. For a long time. "Tell me," he said. "What exactly?" "Everything." Leo told him. Without embellishment, without trying to soften anything. How he had hidden. How he had fallen out by accident. How he had tried to run and didn't make it. How he ended up inside. "And then you found the Manhwa core," said his father. "Yes." "And ate it." "Yes." A pause. "Leo," said Count Solar, "do you understand that this is not normal?" "I understand that it is not normal," Leo agreed. "But there were no other options. The acid was eating through. The Hydra was not going to let me go." A pause. "I thought it would be better than doing nothing." His father looked at him. 8 years old, thought Count Solar. "My son is 8 years old. He hid in a carriage, survived inside a Hydra's stomach, killed the Hydra from within by absorbing its Manhwa core, and is now explaining the logic of his decision to me in complete calm." "Mira," he thought. "Your character. Definitely yours. What do you feel right now?" he asked. "Inside. Physically." Leo thought. "Warmth," he said. "Here." He pressed his hand to his chest. "Like a second heart. It beats." A pause. "It doesn't hurt. It's just there." The Count leaned forward, pressed his hand to his son's chest beside his own, closed his eyes. Magical sensing, the ability of experienced fighters to feel another person's aura through direct contact. He opened his eyes. His face had changed. Something in it, surprise, complex, which the Count did not immediately manage to conceal. "What?" asked Leo. "Your magical core," the Count said slowly. "At the age of 3 it began forming, weak, slow. Master Volan said it would be sufficient for basic training by 12. A pause. "Now it is different." "Different how?" "Large," said his father. "Very large. Not for an 8-year-old boy." A long pause. "And not one type of mana. The Hydra is a creature of the water and earth elements. Its mana is inside you, together with yours." He looked at his son. "Leo, you absorbed the Manhwa core of a Class A creature." Silence. "Is that bad?" asked Leo. "It is unprecedented," said the Count. "I know of no one who has done this deliberately, let alone at 8 years old." A pause. "We need a specialist. A mana master, someone of high level. We will find one in the capital." "So we're going to the capital," said Leo. The Count looked at him. "Yes," he said. "We're going to the capital." "Good," said Leo. And for all the exhaustion and the burns and the strange warmth inside, something in him thought, "Here we go. Just like I wanted." He didn't say that aloud. Sometimes it is enough just to know. The capital, Leo remembered it in fragments. Large, that was the first thing. Larger than he had imagined from maps. Streets, people, smells, noise, all at once and all too much. He looked out the window of the surviving carriage and did not blink. "Close your mouth," said his father, without a smile, but with an intonation that was one. Leo closed his mouth, opened it again a minute later. The estate where they stayed belonged to a distant relative of the Hydrans, spacious, in a quiet quarter. Leo was given a room and told to rest. He rested until he heard his father preparing to go somewhere and quietly followed. This time he was caught immediately. His father turned at the gates. "Leo, I'll be quiet." The Count looked at him, then sighed. "Stay beside me. Don't wander off. Don't speak without permission." "All right." Master Ain lived in a tower. Literally in a tower. Not a metaphor, not a flourish. An actual stone tower in the eastern quarter of the capital. 6 stories, windows all of different sizes, the door heavy, iron, covered in runes that Leo could not read, but could feel, not with his fingers, but with that warmth inside. The runes reacted, faintly, quietly, as though recognizing something. Interesting, he noted. Master ain't opened the door himself. Around 60 or 70, hard to say. In people of a certain level, age stops being readable in the face. Small, lean, with white hair pulled back. Eyes very pale, almost white, with that particular unmoving attention that belongs to people accustomed to looking at things invisible to others. He looked at the Count, nodded. Then he looked at Leo, and stopped. He looked for a long time. Leo looked back, without fear, with curiosity. Count Hydra, said Master Ain, his voice quiet, precise. Is this boy your son? My younger one, said the Count. Come in, said the Master. Both of you. Inside, the tower was different from the outside. More spacious, which was geometrically impossible. Leo made a note to ask about that. Shelves, instruments, something in glass vessels, diagrams on the walls. A smell, books, something chemical, something else unidentifiable. Master Ain seated them, stood himself across from Leo, produced an artifact, a thin rod, crystalline, glowing faintly. May I, he said, not commanding, asking. You may, said Leo. The Master pressed the rod to Leo's chest, where the warmth was. The rod flared, brightly, unexpectedly. Master Ain pulled his hand back by reflex. He looked at the rod. It had gone dark along its entire length. He raised his eyes to Leo. Tell me, he said to the Count. The Count told him. Briefly, precisely. Master Ain listened without interrupting, then was silent for a long time. Boy, he said to Leo, how do you feel? Every day, since this happened. Warmth inside, said Leo. Sometimes more, sometimes less. When I'm angry, more. When I'm calm, steady. A pause. And also my hands are stronger. Yesterday, I lifted a crate I couldn't lift before. Master Ain nodded. He was writing something on a sheet. Did your magical core form before this happened? He asked. Weekly, said Leo. Master Volan said it would be ready by 12. Now, said Master Ain, you do not have an ordinary magical core. A pause. You have an absorption core. A rarity, I know in theory, one I have never seen in practice in 60 years. A long pause. An absorption core works differently from an ordinary one. It does not generate mana from within, it absorbs it from without. From creatures, from artifacts, from the surrounding environment, and accumulates it. He looked at Leo. You absorb the mana core of a Class A Hydra. That is an enormous volume of foreign mana. It settled onto your own core like drinking an ocean when you can only hold a puddle. Your core expanded, adapted. A pause. It could have killed you. But it didn't, said Leo. But it didn't, the Master agreed. Because you are an absorber. That is your nature. Your body knew what to do even when your mind did not. Count Solar sat quietly and listened with the expression of a man receiving more information than he had anticipated. What does this mean for him? Asked the Count. Master Ain looked at Leo. It means, he said, that every time he absorbs the mana core of a creature or accumulates enough ambient mana, his own core will grow. A pause. There is no limit to that growth that I could name. Another pause. Theoretically, infinity. Silence. Theoretically, the Count repeated. Theoretically, the Master confirmed. In practice, it depends on him. On discipline. On training. On survival. He looked at Leo. A boy with an absorption core is a target for many. Those who will want to use him. Those who will want to destroy him out of fear. His voice was level, without unnecessary drama. Simply a fact. This must be understood. Leo looked at the Master. A target, he thought. Understood. Filed away. What do I need to learn? Asked Leo. Master Ain looked at him. Something in the old face changed. Almost imperceptibly. Something resembling approval. Control, he said. Above all else, control. The Hydra's mana inside you is foreign. It will seek to act according to the Hydra's nature. Water, earth, force. If you do not control it, it will govern you, not you it. A pause. That is the first. The second, structure. You must understand how your core is built. What it can do, what it cannot. Where the limit is. A third pause. Third, concealment. No one must know what kind of core you have. No one except those you trust completely. Will you teach me? Asked Leo. No, said Master Ain. A pause. Why? Because I am old, said the master simply. And because you need a teacher who knows combat, not only theory. I know theory. He looked at the count. Does your son have half a year in the capital? Yes, said the count. Then I will find who is needed, said Master Ain. Basic control, that I will teach myself. The rest, another person. He stood. Come tomorrow. In the morning. No being late. We will come, said Leo. The master looked at him again. The same barely perceptible something. Yes, he said. You will. 3 months. Every morning in the tower. Master Ain taught strangely. Not like Master Volan with his etiquette, rules, repetition, rules again. And not like Cain. Practice, practice. Watch how I do it. Master Ain asked questions. What do you feel when the warmth intensifies? What do you feel when it diminishes? Show me how it moves inside. Where does it get stuck? Why do you think it gets stuck exactly here? Leo answered. Thought. Answered. Thought again. Gradually, what had been simply warmth became a structure he understood. Not fully, but he was beginning to. The absorption core, the master explained, was not a sphere like ordinary mages have. More like a funnel. Open outward, drawing in ambient mana from the air constantly. Slowly, but constantly. Close the funnel, the master said one day. How? Feel where it is open. Imagine closing it. Leo tried. For a long time. It didn't work. Either too abrupt, or nothing at all. On the 4th attempt something closed. Not completely, at the edge. The warmth inside diminished slightly. The absorption stopped at that edge. Good, said the master. Open it again. Leo opened it. The warmth returned. Close it again. 3 hours, opening and closing. By the end he was doing it with confidence. Not perfectly, not quickly, but with control. This, he understood, is what control means. Not force. Management. Master Ain watched him with that ever-present calm attention, and something in him said he was satisfied, though his face did not change. Enough for today, he said. Leo opened his eyes. 3 hours of concentration produced a different kind of fatigue than physical, not the body tired, the head. As though he had been thinking too long about something very small. Master Ain, he said, yes, the Hydra's mana inside me, will it always be foreign? Or will it become mine over time? The master looked at him, then sat down, poured tea from the kettle that always stood on the small stove by the wall. A good question, he said. Most people don't arrive at it this quickly. Because most people don't have Hydra mana inside them. Fair. The master drank his tea, thinking. Over time, yes. The mana you absorbed will integrate. Your core will process it slowly, over years. Part will become fully yours. Part will remain the Hydra's nature. The water and earth elements. They will enter your repertoire. A pause. But this will happen on its own. It cannot be hastened. So I will have 3 elements, said Leo. 3. My own. What element is it? Master Ain looked at him. For a long time. Your own, he said slowly, is something we have not yet determined. The absorption core forms around the bearer's base nature. But your absorption happens so early and so abruptly that your base nature is obscured by the Hydra's mana. Like the voice of a quiet person in a noisy crowd. A pause. When the integration progresses, we will know. My own element is unknown, Leo thought on the way home. Because the Hydra's mana is obscuring it. Interesting. Interesting was his word for everything others would call a problem. A month later, Master Ain kept his promise. He brought a teacher. A woman of about 35, short, wiry, with dark hair braided into a short plait. No jewelry. No expensive clothing, simple armor, worn in several places. She moved in a way that took up exactly as much space as she needed, no more, no less. The mark of a fighter who wastes nothing. Her name was Ariel. Her aura. Rank A. Leo felt it immediately. His absorption core reacted to strong auras, not absorbing, just noting. Like a compass noting north. Rank A, he thought. Father is rank B. She is stronger than father. This is the boy? Ariel said to Master Ain. Yes, he said. 8 years old. Almost 9. Ariel looked at Leo. Leo looked at her. Stand up, she said. He stood. Feet shoulder-width apart. He stood that way. Drop your hands. He dropped them. She walked around him slowly. 1 circle, 2. She was looking not at him, but at how he stood. How he held his weight. How he breathed. Center of gravity is high, she said to the master. Light. Quick, most likely. Endurance, unclear. I'm right here, said Leo. Ariel stopped. looked at him. Something flickered in her eyes. She wasn't offended. She was noting it. Here, she agreed. What can you do? Core control. Basic, said Leo. Training sword, poorly. Reading tracks, a little. Climbing where I shouldn't. Well, the last one is useful, said Ariel, without a smile, but with an intonation that was one. The rest we will start from the beginning. Why is your training sword work poor? Master Ain asked Leo. Because Cain taught me when he was in the mood, said Leo honestly. And the mood wasn't always there. Understood, said Ariel. Starting today, every morning. 2 hours physical, 1 hour core work in motion. Questions? Yes, said Leo. How long to reach rank A? Ariel looked at him. Depends on the person. The best, 10 years. Average, 20. How long for me? How would I know? She said. I haven't seen you in action. Your estimate. Ariel looked once more. Walked around him again. Stood before him. 8 to 9 years, she said. If you work the way you should. I will, said Leo. We'll see, said Ariel. The 6 months in the capital flew by. Leo barely noticed how. Days. Master Ain in the morning, Ariel in the afternoon. Evenings, the library of his uncle's estate or walks through the quarters his father permitted with a guard, and Leo sometimes without a guard, which was not permitted. The capital turned out to be layered. On top, the ceremonial face, with wide streets, palaces, mages in expensive robes. Below, the merchant quarters, noisy, alive, smelling of food and commerce. Lower still, the districts Count Hydra had told him not to go to. Leo went once, looked, came back, understood what it meant, the difference between those who have and those who don't. He remembered it. Simply, this too was part of the world. Physically he had grown. Not much, a few centimeters, but he had changed. Ariel worked with him without allowances for age, not cruelly, but demandingly. The first month, only movement and breathing. The second, basic sword technique. The third, combining movement with the core. That turned out to be the hardest. You have mastered core control while still, Ariel told him. Now in motion, the body moves, the core stays stable. It is different. Why can't I simply move and not think about the core? Because in combat you need to use the core while moving. If you can do one or the other, you are half a fighter. A pause. Understood? Understood, said Leo. Doesn't mean I can do it. You will, said Ariel. Work. By the end of 6 months, he could. Not perfectly, with effort, but he could. Leo could move and hold the core stable simultaneously. For 1 minute. Then the core would begin to drift. 1 minute is not much, he said to Ariel. 3 months ago it was 10 seconds, she said. 1 minute is progress. Not enough. Ariel looked at him. You're impatient, she said. I understand that time is short, said Leo. Why short? Because Master Ain said I am a target. While I am weak, I am vulnerable. I need to grow faster than I am found. Ariel looked at him for a long time, then nodded. Once, slowly. You're thinking correctly, she said. But impatience means mistakes. Mistakes mean setback. A setback takes longer than slow, correct progress. A pause. Do it correctly. Not quickly, correctly. Correctly and quickly is not possible. It is, she said. When correct becomes habit, then quickly will come on its own. Habit, he noted to himself internally. Count Solar concluded his business at court. The council had taken place, policy had been made, connections strengthened. His father was returning to the estate as a different man, not on the outside, on the inside. With that particular change that happens to people who have spent time at the center of power and understood how it works. On the last evening before departure, the Count called Leo to the study. Sat across from him. Looked at his son. Leo looked back. Over half a year he had grown a little. His eyes the same, gray, quick. But something in them had changed. The attentiveness that had always been there had become deeper. Calmer. Master Ain says you have been working well, said the Count. I know, said Leo. Ariel says the same. I know. Leo, said his father. I want to tell you something important. All right. What happened to you? With the core. This will change your life. Not for better or worse. It will simply change it. The path before you is different from Cain's, different from mine. The Count spoke slowly, choosing his words. I cannot tell you how to walk this path. I do not know it. No one does, said Leo. Yes. The Count looked at his son. So I will say only one thing. Whatever happens, you are an Hydra. That is not a title. It is what is inside. A Count Hydra keeps his word. Protects those who are weaker. does not take what he has not earned. A pause. Remember that. I'll remember, said Leo. The Count stood, came over, placed his hand on his son's head. Heavy, warm. We're going home. Leo nodded. Home, he thought. The estate. Cain. The oaks on the hill. And everything that comes after. Leo turned 12. The Hydra estate, the same. The hill, the oaks, the main house. Master Volan unchanged, slightly older, still looking at Leo with patient despair. Cain had grown, become more serious. He barely chased Leo around anymore, was training seriously with his swordmaster now, would soon be sitting his warrior's examination. Leo had grown too. Slim, average height for his age, dark-haired. He moved quietly, economically. Ariel had been teaching him for 3 years, first in the capital, then by correspondence, and when she visited twice a year. Her lessons had worked their way into his body like the habit of breathing. The warmth inside had become familiar. No longer a second heart, as he had thought at 9, more like his own breath. You notice it only when you hold it. The Hydra's mana was integrating. Slowly, as Master Ain had said, over years. By 12, roughly a third was his. The water and earth elements responded when he touched water or earth. Not control yet, a response. Like hearing music through a wall. You understand something is there. You don't make out the words. The local mana teacher, Master Sorn, elderly, good-natured, worked with Leo twice a week. He knew Leo had an absorption core. He did not know the details. The Count had said to keep quiet. Leo kept quiet. Master Sorn saw a capable boy. Very capable. A large core, well-controlled for his age. He assumed natural talent. If he only knew, Leo sometimes thought. 3 people knew. His father, Master Ain, Ariel. Cain did not know. That was uncomfortable. Cain was the older brother, was nearby, noticed that Leo was different. He asked sometimes. Leo deflected, not with lies, simply steering the conversation elsewhere. Cain accepted it, but with that older brother expression of someone who senses they are not being told something important. I'll tell him when the time comes, Leo thought. It's too soon now. The first intentional absorption after the Hydra happened in his 12th year. A marsh spirit, a small creature, Class D, living in the far pond beyond the eastern border of the estate. Leo came across it during one of his solitary walks. The creature was small, greenish, aggressive. It attacked immediately. Leo did not lose his composure. 3 years of training. He stepped aside, let the creature pass, seized it, an earth technique Ariel had shown him, pinned it to the ground. The creature struggled, weakened. He paused for a moment. A Class D mana core. Small, weak. But intentional absorption was different from what had happened with the Hydra. Master Ain had said, practice controlling absorption on something small. Not class it right away. He absorbed it intentionally. Opened his core, allowed the spirit's mana to enter. This was entirely different from the Hydra. Quiet. Careful. The warmth increased barely perceptibly. The marsh mana, greenish, damp, foreign, entered and settled softly over what was already there. The creature vanished. Not dead, dissolved. Without a mana core, Class D creatures have no physical body, only mana. Leo stood by the pond. So he thought. That is how it is done intentionally. No triumph. No fear. Simply understanding how the tool works. This is a tool. I need to learn to use it. That evening he wrote to Master Ain in the capital. In detail, as he had learned to. Master Ain had always demanded detail. No gaps. Even what seemed unimportant. The reply came a week later. Good. Intentional absorption of Class D is the right first step. Note 3 things. The speed of absorption, the resistance of the subject, the sensation afterward. Write everything down. Next time repeat and compare. Patterns are your teachers. Leo wrote it down. Repeated it. Compared. By the end of the year, intentional absorption of Class D had become routine. Not every day, once every few weeks. Mana accumulated. The core grew slowly, steadily, like a tree you don't notice until you measure it. In the spring of his 12th year, his father made an announcement. The Royal Academy of Warriors. You have been accepted. Leo looked at him. You submitted the documents. Several months ago. The Count looked at his son steadily. Cain did not get in. Not enough points on entry. You were different. You didn't tell me. Because I wasn't certain they would accept you. A pause. Now I am. Leo thought. The academy, he knew of it. the finest institution in the kingdom for magical warriors. 3 years of study. In the capital. When? In autumn. You will be 13. The count looked at him. Leo, you understand what this means. In the academy, there are children from the best families. They will watch you closely, test you. Among them will be those with connections to people who have no interest in someone with your core growing too quickly. I understand. Concealment matters more than before. I understand. Cain will find out you are leaving. Speak with him yourself. The count paused. And tell him the truth. About the core. Cain Hydra. He does not give up his own. Leo looked at his father. Father is saying tell Cain, which means the time has come. All right, said Leo. He found Cain in the training hall. He was drilling alone, strike after strike into a wooden dummy. Steadily, methodically. Good form. Over 3 years his brother had grown into a serious fighter. Leo stood by the wall, watched. Cain sensed him and turned around. Wiped his brow. What do you want? To talk. About what? About the Hydra. Cain went still, looked at his brother, was silent for a moment. Sit down, he said. They sat on the bench by the wall. Cain looked at the wooden floor, not at Leo. His habit when listening to something serious. Leo told him everything. Fully, without gaps. The absorption core, Master Ain, Ariel, the intentional absorptions. What the Master had said about growth without limit. Cain listened without interrupting. That was not his way. He always listened to the end. Then he was silent for a long time. You've known for 3 years, he said. Yes. And didn't say anything. No. Why? Because I wasn't certain how you would take it, said Leo honestly. Father said the fewer people who know the better. I followed that. Cain was silent again. I wouldn't have given you up, he said. I know, said Leo. Now I know for certain. Back then, I wasn't 100% sure. I'm sorry. Cain raised his eyes to his brother. Looked for a long time, attentively, with that particular older brother look that sees more than the surface. You've changed, he said. Over 3 years. Not just in height. Yes. Calmer. Probably. Before you were noisy, said Cain. Got into everything, shouted, argued. Now you're quiet. A pause. Not bad. Just different. That's Ariel, Leo thought. 3 years of her lessons. Movement without waste. Words are movement too. Why spend what isn't needed? You're going to the academy, said Cain. Not a question. In autumn. 3 years there. Cain looked at the floor again. I didn't get in. 1 point short in theoretical magic. I know, said Leo. Father mentioned it. Don't feel sorry for me, said Cain. My path is here. The estate, the province, warrior of provincial service. That is no less than the academy. Just different. He raised his eyes. But watch yourself there. If everything you've said about the core is true, you'll stand out. And those who stand out get tested. I know. Father probably said the same thing. Word for word, said Leo. Cain smirked. For the first time in the entire conversation. Family tradition, he said. Idern say the same thing in different voices. He stood. Come here. Leo stood. Cain embraced him. Briefly, firmly, in the way of brothers. Slapped him on the shoulder. Come back in 3 years and show me what you can do. I'll be rank B by then. We'll see who's who. You're stronger, said Leo. Right now? Yes, Cain agreed. In 3 years, I don't know. A pause. That's interesting. Cain Leo thought. A good brother. The academy stood outside the city. Not near the capital, on a separate plateau above a river. Several buildings, training fields, master's towers. The walls were low, not for protection, for marking boundaries. Anyone could enter. Leaving during study hours required permission. Leo arrived alone. The count drove him to the gates, embraced him, and left. No unnecessary words. He and his father had long since learned to speak without words when words were not needed. 72 new students that year, all aged 13 to 15, half from aristocratic families, a quarter from the families of wealthy merchants. The rest, talented children without titles who had been found and brought at the crown's expense. The first day, room assignments, a tour of the grounds, the first general assembly. Leo studied the other students, assessed them, not with hostility, simply professionally. Ariel had taught him, in any new environment, first understand who is who, not in order to fear or attack, simply to know. Strong auras, he felt several. 3 or 4 clearly with good cores. One standing near him in the line, a boy his age, fair-haired, with an aura that spoke of serious natural strength. Already rank E at 13. That was good. The fair-haired boy was looking at Leo too. Their eyes met. Neither looked away. Interesting, Leo thought. Remus Tori, the fair-haired boy said suddenly. Quietly, out of the side of his mouth, without turning, they were in formation. Province of Ray. Leo Idern, said Leo the same way. Province of Kervin. Idern, is that a count? My father. Tori is a baron, said Remus. Third son of a baron, Leo noted. No inheritance. Which means the academy is his path, not just a status. Element? Asked Remus. Mixed, said Leo. Yours? Lightning. Lightning, Leo assessed. Rare. A fast element. Strong in attack, demanding to control. Good element, said Leo. I know, said Remus, without modesty. Leo liked that. People who know their strengths without apology usually know their weaknesses too. The formation moved toward the assembly hall. Remus Tori, Leo filed away. We'll see. Master Dorian taught combat application of mana. For the first lesson, he entered the hall without announcement, stood before the students, swept them with his gaze. Tall, 50 years old, with a short scar from his left ear to his chin. His rank, Leo felt it immediately. Very high rank A, nearly the boundary of S. I am Master Dorian, he said. You will be with me for 3 years. In 3 years, I will try to make fighters of you. Not all will manage. Those who don't, I will dismiss. A pause. Questions? Silence. Good. Stand up. One at a time, show your core. Basic manifestation, not an attack, simply bring it outward. We will start from the left edge. The students began. One after another, core manifestation, some brighter, some weaker. Master Dorian looked at each without expression. Leo's turn came. He released his core. Carefully. As Master Ain had taught, show enough. Not everything. Enough for assessment, not for astonishment. A small glow around his hands. Neutral, without elemental color, control. Ariel had trained this specifically. Conceal your element if you can. Let them think you are weaker than you are. Master Dorian looked. Slightly longer than at the others. Then moved on. After completing the round, he stopped. Came back to Leo. Idern, he said. Yes, Master. Again. Don't hold back. A pause. He felt it. Leo understood. An experienced man. He sensed the difference between what I showed and what is there. I showed what is there, Master, said Leo evenly. Master Dorian looked at him. For a long time. Good, he said, and moved on. After the lesson, Remus caught up with Leo in the corridor. He sensed that you were hiding something. I know. And you still said you showed what was there. Yes. Why? Because it's the truth, said Leo. I showed what is there at this moment. No more, no less. Remus looked at him. That's a very fine line, he said. Yes, Leo agreed. I practiced it. Remus was quiet. Then, you're interesting. So are you, said Leo. 3 years at the academy. That was something else. Not dull and not easy. Intense. Every day something new. Every month some threshold. Leo grew not only as a fighter. The first year, settling in. The academy had its own rules, its own hierarchies, its own informal traditions that were written nowhere, but everyone knew. Leo studied them. Calmly, without rushing. Remus became his closest friend. It happened naturally, without announcement. Simply a person nearby to whom you could say what was real. Remus knew Leo was concealing his strength. He didn't know why, and didn't ask. You'll say when you see fit. That suited them both. 2 others drew closer. Sela, a girl from a merchant family, with the rare element of ice and a mind that was faster than her core. And Ta'avr, a landless knight's son, large, slow in thought, but with a fighter's intuition that was worth more than speed of mind. The 4 of them kept together. Not a gang, not a faction, simply people who were better together than apart. Enemies appeared too. That was inevitable. Kunverst, son of the Duke of Province Ney. Handsome, confident, with a good aura and that particular quality of wealthy heirs accustomed to the world stepping back when they step forward. Leo did not step back. Kun did not like that. Count Idern, he would say when they met, with an intonation that said, small count from a small province. How are things? Not bad, Leo would say. Without anger, without warmth. Evenly. Kun waited for a reaction. Anger, embarrassment, an attempt to prove something. He got none. That angered him more than any response would have. In the second year, he provoked Leo into a duel. An exhibition match, official, permitted by the Academy's rules. Leo accepted. Without enthusiasm, without fear. He assessed the situation. Kun, rank D high. Fire aura, attacking style. Fast, aggressive, accustomed to applying pressure. His weakness, endurance. Draw out the fight, and he would tire. My task is not to win beautifully. To win sufficiently. Half the Academy watched the duel. Kun attacked immediately, powerfully, his fire aura flaring to full strength. Leo evaded. Did not respond, evaded. The first minute, the second. Kun pressed, Leo moved. Remus by the wall watched with an expression that said, I've seen you in training, I know you can do more. Why are you waiting? In the third minute, Kun began spending more than he needed to. It was visible, his aura slightly less bright, his movements slightly less precise. In the fourth minute, Leo responded. Once. An earth technique from the Hydra's mana, almost his own now. A grip on the foot, a loss of balance. Kun didn't fall. He caught himself, but lost a second. That second was enough. Leo, a water strike, flat, precise, to the center of the chest. Not strong, sufficient. Kun flew back 2 steps. Stood. His aura nearly extinguished. The judge raised his hand. Victory. Silence in the hall. Then a few claps. Then more. Kun looked at Leo with the expression of someone who has lost and does not understand how. Because you attacked beautifully, Leo thought. And I won sufficiently. Afterward, Remus approached. You could have finished it in a minute. I could have. Why didn't you? Because the goal was not to demonstrate what I can do, said Leo. The goal was to win without drawing unnecessary attention to exactly how. Remus looked at him. Someday you'll tell me what's going on. I will, said Leo. When the time comes. 3rd year of the Academy. Winter. A practical assignment. Survive one night in the far forest beyond the Academy's boundary. Individual, without a partner. A standard assignment for the senior year. The forest was dangerous, creatures of class C and above. No students had ever died, but injuries happened every year. Leo walked alone. Dark, cold, snow on the ground. The forest was silent in winter. That seemed safe. It was not safe. The first 3 hours were quiet. Leo moved methodically, chose a spot for shelter, a high rock by a stream, his back to the cliff, a clear view to both sides. Ariel had taught him, a good position matters more than a good weapon. Then he felt it. His core reacted. Something large. Warm. No, not warm. Cold. A Class B aura. Class B, Leo assessed. Not standard for a student assignment. Something is wrong. He didn't move. He waited. The creature came out of the forest slowly, heavily. An ice bear. He had seen descriptions in books. Class B, a northern creature. It should not be in this forest. It had come down from the mountains, disturbed by something. The size of a small house. Ice-white fur, its breath steaming in the cold air, eyes glowing blue. It was looking at Leo. Run, first thought. No. An ice bear's burst speed exceeded a human's. Running was not possible. Fight, second thought. Class B against me, difficult. I am at the boundary of D and E. The gap is large. Absorb, third thought. He stayed with that one. A Class B mana core, that was an enormous gain. Master Ain had said don't rush with the powerful ones. But there was no choice. Either absorption or bad. The bear growled, shifted an attack. Leo leaped aside. The bear missed, turned slowly. It was large. Leo circled it, came around from the side. An earth technique, pinned the paw to the ground. Mana flowed from his core. Earth, the Hydra's, already his. The ground under the bear's paw contracted, seized. The bear roared, yanked its paw, wrenched free. It was strong. I can't hold it by physical force, Leo realized. I need another way. Water mana reached toward the stream nearby. The stream was nearly frozen, but water moved beneath the ice. Leo found it. Pulled. The water rose, awkwardly, not like an experienced water mage, but it rose. Struck the bear from the side, ice-cold water. The bear flinched. Not from the temperature, from the surprise. A second, Leo was beside it. He pressed his hand to the bear's side where he felt the mana core, deep within. He opened absorption fully. Not carefully as with Class D, fully. It was not quiet. A Class B core resisted. Foreign, powerful, cold. Leo held, pulled. The core inside him expanded to receive the enormous volume. Pain. For the first time, real pain. As if a vessel were being filled too quickly. The bear fell. Slowly, heavily, the way a tree falls. Leo fell too, to his knees. He breathed heavily. Inside, a storm. Ice mana of Class B, a massive wave over everything that had been there. His core was cracking from the volume. No, not cracking. Expanding. Painfully, but expanding. Hold on, Leo told himself. Hold. Control. For 3 hours he sat beside the dead bear and slowly, methodically, managed the integration. Closed the funnel where needed, opened it where needed. Distributed the pressure. Master Ain had taught him the theory. Ariel had taught him to hold on when it hurt. Both proved useful. By dawn the storm had quieted. Leo stood. Moved his fingers. They worked. A deep breath. His lungs worked. He assessed his core inwardly. It had grown significantly. No longer at the boundary of D and E. Solidly ranked C, he assessed. 2 ranks in a single night. Master Ain had said, absorbing a powerful creature is a leap. Not gradual growth, a leap. Now he understood what that meant. He looked at the dead ice bear. Thank you, he said. Quietly. Not for the attack. For everything else. He turned. Walked back toward the academy. Master Dorian waited at the gates as always, meeting students after the night assignment. He watched the returning ones, assessed them. He watched Leo longer than usual. Hydra. Master, you have changed since last night. I encountered an ice bear. A long pause. An ice bear is Class B, said Master Dorian. You are alive. Yes. Why? Earth and water are my elements, said Leo. Suited for this creature. Master Dorian looked at him with that long gaze that said, I hear what you are saying. I hear what you are not saying. These are different things. Go rest, he said. Yes, Master. He turned, walked away. Hydra, said the Master from behind. He stopped. Your aura is different from yesterday, said the Master. Evenly, without accusation. Simply a fact. I noticed such things. Understood, Master, said Leo. He offered no explanation. Walked on. Master Dorian knows something is wrong, he thought. He doesn't know what. He'll be watching now. I need to be more careful. But rank C at 15. Without a structured system, rank C is reached by the best at 22. 8 more Class B creatures, and it will be rank B. If I find them, I'll find them. Graduation, spring of the 16th year. Leo stood in formation with those who had survived 3 years. Not all had. 12 of 72 had been dismissed. 3 had been seriously injured and not returned. Those remaining were different from 3 years ago. It was visible in how they stood. Remus beside him. He had grown, filled out. His lightning aura a solid rank D, one of the best in the year. He looked ahead with the expression of someone who knows he has earned his place. Sela further along the line. Ice and a sharp mind. A good combination for her path. Tavr further still, large, calm, dependable as a rock. Kun versed also in the line. 3 years in the same space had not made them friends, but had worn down the sharp edges. Kun had become better than he had been, not in character, in ability. Sometimes that matters more. Master Dorian read out names, handed over documents. Leo Hydra. He stepped forward, took the document. Best result on the final examination, said Master Dorian, in an even voice. Congratulations. He returned to the line. Remus, quietly, best result. Yes. When are you finally going to explain to me what's going on? Soon, said Leo. You've been saying soon for 3 years. This evening, said Leo. I promise. Remus looked at him. Nodded. The time has come, Leo thought. Remus is one of mine. 3 years beside me. He is an Hydra not by blood, but by quality. People like that you keep close. The ceremony ended. The students, graduates now dispersed. Different roads ahead for each. Court service, provincial warriors, freelance hunters, private units. Leo knew his road. Home for a month. See his father, Cain, the estate. Then onward. To where creatures with strong mana cores exist. To where those who want to grow go to grow. And to where the strength that is growing inside him is needed. Master Ain had written 3 months ago. Zones of instability have appeared in the kingdom. Places where creatures of Class A and above are breaking through to the surface. The cause is unknown. The Royal Guard is managing with difficulty. This will soon become the central question of the kingdom. You are rank C at 16. I have not seen this in 60 years. Continue. And be careful. Zones of instability attract the attention of everyone, including those who would find your core of interest. Zones of instability, Leo thought as he walked out through the academy gates. Class A creatures. Class A cores. The Hydra was Class A. I ate it at 8 years old by accident and survived because an absorption core is my nature. Now I am 16. Rank C. My control is different. I know what I am doing. The next Class A, with intention. He stopped at the gates. Looked back at the academy buildings one last time. A good place, he thought. I grew here. Not only as a fighter. He turned. Walked forward. The Hydra estate. Unchanged. The hill, the oaks, the main house. Leo stood at the gates and looked. 3 years. The estate had not changed on the outside. On the inside, he didn't know yet. Cain came out himself. Saw his brother at the gates. Came down the steps quickly. They looked at each other. Cain had grown broader. More serious. A warrior of provincial service. Rank B, as he had promised. In his eyes, the same older brother, but with the addition of experience that hadn't been there 3 years ago. Leo slimmer than Cain, calmer. He moved differently. You've grown, said Cain. So have you. Rank B, like I said. I know. Father wrote. You what? A pause. Rank C, said Leo. Cain looked at him. 16 years old. Yes. Rank C at 16, Cain repeated slowly. Not admiringly, thinking it through. That's rare. I know. That's danger, said Cain. Directly, without beating around it. He had always been able to do that. I know that too. Good that you know, said Cain. Come on. Father is waiting. Count Solar in his study. He stood when they entered. Looked at his son. Leo looked at his father. 3 years. His father had aged slightly. Not on the outside, in his eyes. Something heavy had settled there while Leo was at the academy. They embraced. Without words. Then they sat. The Count poured wine for 3, Cain included. That meant a serious conversation. Master Ain wrote to me, said the Count, about the zones of instability. He wrote to me as well, said Leo. Do you know what they are? Places where the boundary between the ordinary world and the wild zones thins. Creatures break through. A pause. 3 months ago, the first zone appeared in the province of Kervin, in the mountains near the northern border. The Count looked at him. How do you know it's in Kervin? The Academy has an information network, said Leo. Master Dorian shared news with those who knew how to listen. Cain set down his glass. Looked at his brother with an expression that said, You always know more than you say when you say it. 3 weeks ago, said the Count slowly, the Provincial Council requested military assistance from the Crown. The zone in the mountains is expanding. Class B creatures are breaking through regularly. One Class A was recorded a week ago. What creature? Asked Leo. A cave dragon. The Count looked at his son. Leo, I know what you're thinking. Probably. No. Father. No, the Count repeated. His voice even. That same voice. You have just returned. You are 16 years old. A zone of instability is not a training assignment. I know it's not a training assignment, said Leo. That's exactly why. Silence. Cain looked into his glass. He did not intervene. He knew how to feel when a conversation was not meant for 3. Father, said Leo. I worked 3 years for this. Master Ain, Ariel, the Academy, everything led here. Not to become a court warrior. Not to provincial service. A pause. An absorption core grows through creatures. The stronger the creature, the greater the growth. A zone of instability is a place where powerful creatures come to the surface. He looked at his father. I'm not looking for adventure. I'm going where such strength as mine is needed and where that strength can grow further. Those are different things. Count Solar was silent. He looked at his son, at the boy who had hidden in the carriage and survived inside a Hydra's stomach, at the one who had come back from the academy as someone else. 1 month, he said at last. What? You will stay home for a month, said the Count. You will rest. See the estate. Be with us. A pause. Then I will not hold you back. But 1 month. That is my request. Leo looked at his father. A request, not an order. Count Hydra requests, does not order. That means he understands the right to choose is no longer his. This is hard for a father. 1 month, Leo agreed. The month was good. Not because it was calm, it was partly calm. Because it was real. The estate, the family, those simple things that at the academy you don't notice you miss until you return. Cain trained with him every morning. The first time they went out to the field with training swords, Cain attacked, Leo evaded. 3 minutes, Cain stopped. You evade like water, he said. What? No resistance. I strike. You're not there. That's a different technique from what I taught you. Ariel, said Leo. A good teacher. Yes. Attack, said Cain. Leo attacked, slowly, deliberately. Cain parried, responded. Leo evaded, responded, evaded again. They exchanged for 10 minutes, both thinking while moving. Then they stopped, stood and breathed. You're faster than me, said Cain. Not by much, but faster. You're stronger. Rank B against rank C, yes. A pause. But in a year, you'll be B2. Probably. And in 3? Leo didn't answer. Cain looked at him. You will be above rank B in 3 years, he said. Not a question. It's written on you. In how you move, how you think, how you stay quiet when quiet is right. A pause. Rank A is not just strength. It's a different level of understanding. Master Darren here is rank A. I saw him in combat once. It's something else entirely. I know, said Leo. You want to go above A. That was not a question either. Leo looked at his older brother. At the man who had known him since birth, who had taught him his first movements, who had always known how to see what was behind words. Yes, he said. S rank, said Cain quietly. There are 3 in the kingdom. Maybe 4. Living legends. A long pause. You think you'll get there? I don't know, said Leo honestly. But I'll try. Cain was silent for a minute. Then nodded. Then go, he said. Don't waste time at home. A month is good, but no more. Father was the one who asked for a month. Father asked because he's afraid of losing you, said Cain. That's understandable. I'm afraid too. He looked at his brother. But fear is not a reason to stop someone who is going where they need to go. Cain, Leo thought. A good brother. The best brother. On the 28th day, a letter arrived. From Master Ain. Short, without preamble, as always when it mattered. The zone of instability in the Caravan Mountains has expanded. The cave dragon is confirmed Class A. It has left the perimeter and attacked 3 villages. The Crown's army is on its way, 2 weeks until arrival. The local warriors are not managing. The Count of Caravan has requested any help available. Provincial warriors of rank B are losing people. Leo, you know what is there and why. The choice is yours. Ain. Leo read it, folded it, stood. He found his father in the study. The Count looked up, saw his son's face, understood everything without words. The month is nearly done, said Leo. The Count was silent for a long time. He looked at the table before him, then raised his eyes. The province of Caravan is our province, he said. Yes. The people the dragon is attacking are our people. Yes. The Count stood, went to the safe by the wall, opened it, took out a dagger in a sheath. Plain looking, unadorned. He held it out to his son. Your mother's, he said. She wore it always. Said it brought luck. A pause. I don't know if that's true, but take it. Leo took it, held it in his hands. The dagger was light, well balanced. On the hilt, barely visible, a small engraved flower. Thank you, he said. The Count nodded, turned toward the window. Go, he said, before I change my mind. 3 days' road from the estate to the northern mountains. Leo moved quickly, alone, traveling light. Remus had wanted to come along. He wrote when he found out. Leo replied, no, this was not a place for rank D yet. Later, Remus was offended. He didn't say so, but it was clear from his reply. Leo accepted that. Remus was a friend, not a tool. Dragging him somewhere he would most likely die was not friendship. The boundary of instability could be felt from a kilometer away. It was a physical sensation, like pressure in the ears when climbing high. The mana in the air was different, denser, more saturated. His absorption core responded slowly, quietly, like breathing air that is fresher than usual beside someone. A great deal of mana, Leo noted. Concentrated. This is a place where the boundary is thin. The village at the foot of the mountain, empty. The inhabitants had left, correctly, wisely. Signs of haste, but not of panic, an organized withdrawal. Good. He found the local warriors 3 kilometers from the village. A small unit, 8 people. All ranks C or D, all exhausted. The commander, a woman of about 40, rank B, with that particular expression of someone holding on by the last of their strength, but not allowing it to show. Who are you? She said when Leo approached. Leo Hydra, from the province of Caravan. The young count, she said. Not mockingly, a statement. I've heard the name. A pause. Go home, young count. This is not a place for an academy graduate. I heard that a cave dragon of Class A has left the perimeter, said Leo. Yes. And local warriors of rank B are losing people. Yes, the Crown's army, 2 weeks. 9 days if they hurry. She looked at him. You are not a soldier. You are a 16-year-old boy with a good core, by rumor. That is not what is needed against a Class A. Can you manage yourselves in 9 days? Silence. No, she said. Honestly, he respected her immediately for that. Then, said Leo, I'm staying. I'm not giving you orders. Not stepping into command. I do what's needed when it's needed. A pause. Your name, Senna? Commander Senna Vice, she said. Commander Vice. Leo looked at her directly. I won't be in the way. I promise. But I'm not leaving. Senna looked at him. At length, with that unhurried assessment of an experienced fighter. All right, she said finally. Stay? But you listen to me. No freelancing. Understood, said Leo. Good, he thought. Let's see. The cave dragon did not appear for the first 2 days. Other things did. From the zone of instability, creatures of Class B and C emerged constantly, in small groups, individually. Senna's unit drove them back, wearily, methodically. Leo helped. Earth and water techniques, precise strikes, without unnecessary noise. Senna watched him during every combat, assessing. Said nothing. Watched. After the second day, she approached in the evening. You are not rank C, she said. Why do you think that? Because rank C doesn't do what you did today with that stone bowl, she said. It was Class B. You handled it easily. Not easily, said Leo. Just the right technique for that type of creature. Hydra. Commander Vice. I won't report you to the council, she said. Whatever you're concealing. I need help against the dragon, not paperwork. A pause. But tell me, can you handle a Class A? Leo thought. Can I? Honest question. The ice bear was Class B. That was hard. A cave dragon is Class A. The gap is large. But I grew after the bear. Solid rank C, nearly at the boundary of B after all the absorptions of these months. A guarantee is impossible. But there is a chance. I don't know, he said honestly. There is a chance. There is no guarantee. Senna looked at him. An honest answer, she said. Good. She stood. Sleep. Tomorrow it will likely come out. Why tomorrow? 2 days of silence from the dragon. That's not calm. That's accumulation. They do this, go deeper, gather energy, then emerge. A pause. Tomorrow, the third day, it will come out. She was not wrong. Morning of the third day, fog from the mountains. Leo felt it in the dark an hour before dawn. His core reacted differently than it had to Class B creatures. Stronger, deeper. The way you feel thunder before you hear it. He woke Senna. It's coming. She didn't ask how he knew. She stood, woke the unit. The dragon came out of the fog at dawn. It was not flying, it was walking. That was strange. Cave dragons usually preferred the ground. Wings were secondary. This one was large, dark gray with a bluish sheen, 100 meters from head to tail. Stone armor over its scales, natural, dense. Its aura was heavy. Leo felt it at 200 meters as a pressure in the air. Senna's unit took their positions. 8 people. Senna beside Leo. I haven't given the order to attack, she said quietly. For now we observe. We look for a pattern. All right. The dragon moved toward the village. Slowly, without hurry. Class A creatures don't rush. They usually have nothing to fear. Then it turned its head. It sensed the people. It stopped. It looked. Leo looked back. The dragon's eyes were large, blue, with a vertical pupil. In them, not dull rage. Something more intelligent. Class A creatures were smarter than they appeared. It's looking at you, Senna said quietly. I know. Why at you and not at us? Because it senses the core, said Leo. Class A creatures sense strong mana cores. A pause. I'm more interesting to it than the rest of you. Is that bad or good? Depends on how you use it. The dragon moved. Not toward the village. Toward Leo. There it is, Leo thought. Commander Vice, he said. Pull the unit back 300 meters. I won't. Please, said Leo. Not because I don't trust you. Because if they're here, I'll be thinking about them. I need to think only about the dragon. A pause. Senna looked at him. At the dragon. At him again. 300 meters back, she told the unit. Quiet, clear. Commander, someone began. Back, she repeated. And she stepped back herself. 300 meters, but no more. She stayed to watch. Leo was left alone. The dragon, 50 meters away. It had stopped. It was looking. Absorption core, Leo thought. It senses me. Curiosity? Aggression? Doesn't matter. I need to reach its mana core. Cave Dragon. Mana core in the center of the chest, behind the stone armor. The armor can't be broken through with water. An earth technique can find the seam. But first I need to close the distance. And closing distance with a Class A is something else entirely compared to the ice bear. The dragon opened its jaws. It's breath, not fire. Cave dragons don't breathe fire. They breathe stone dust. Concentrated, cutting, at high speed, like a sandblaster. Leo stepped aside. The stream passed by. The trees behind him lost bark from one side in an instant. Long-range attack. Dangerous, he noted. Need to be closer. A paradox. Dangerous to approach, dangerous to stay at distance. The dragon stepped forward. The ground shuddered. Leo activated his earth mana. He felt the soil beneath his feet, its structure, its density. The Hydra's earth mana had over the years become nearly his own. It responded well. He pulled. The earth under the dragon's front paw softened. Didn't become liquid, just lost its density. The dragon's legs sank deeper than expected. It stumbled. Didn't fall. Class A doesn't fall from something like that. But it lost the rhythm of its movement. Good, Leo thought. This works. He moved around in an arc. Quickly, while the dragon was recovering. Came around from the side. The stone armor on the flank. Plates. Between the plates, seams. Leo found them with his eyes and his mana simultaneously. A water technique into the seam. Water penetrates where stone cannot. He tried. Drew water from the air. Morning. Fog. There was moisture. Directed it into the seam. The armor creaked. The plate shifted a millimeter. Works too slowly, he assessed. Much too slowly. The dragon won't just stand there. The dragon didn't just stand there. It turned toward him. Its tail, a wide sweep, horizontal, sweeping like a scythe. Leo jumped upward. The tail passed beneath him. He landed on the dragon's back, directly between the shoulder blades where the wings met the body. The dragon felt it. It roared, tried to shake him off. Its body curved, its back moved in waves. Leo held on. No claws, held on with technique. Earth mana, adhesion to the surface. Not perfect, it required concentration, but it held. He crawled forward toward the neck, toward the chest, to where the core should be behind the armor. The dragon bellowed, tried to lie down and crush him. Leo rolled from side to side, held on. Closer, he thought. Just a little closer. He felt the core. Through the armor, through the body. Hot, large, alive. A Class A mana core, enormous. Leo felt it like the heat from an open furnace. He pressed his hand to the armor above it. Water mana into the seams. Earth mana to soften the structure of the plates. Simultaneously, with both, for the first time deliberately using both elements together. It was difficult, like writing different words with two hands at once. The armor cracked. One plate shifted, another behind it. A gap opened beneath his palm. The core was right there. The dragon bellowed differently. Not from anger. From pain. For the first time something was causing it pain. He opened absorption fully. The Class A core struck like a wall. This was nothing like the bear. Class A was a different order entirely. The volume of mana that flooded into him was comparable to everything he had accumulated in the 3 years since the bear. All of it together. All at once. The absorption core expanded. Painful, yes. Very painful. But it didn't tear. It held. His nature was to absorb. This was his nature. The dragon fell. Slowly, heavily. The enormous body settled like a building collapsing. Leo jumped clear before it came down. Ran back. Fell to his knees in the grass. He breathed. Inside, a storm an order of magnitude stronger than with the bear. Stone mana. New, dark, dense, filled everything. Earth, stone, structure. The absorption core received it slowly, with effort, but received it. Hold, he told himself. Control. Mastering taught you. Ariel taught you. Hold. He held. 5 minutes. 10. Gradually the storm quieted. Didn't end, it distributed. Found its places. Senna ran up to him. Earlier than he had allowed. But there was no time for that. Idern, she looked at him. You're alive. Alive. The dragon is dead. She looked at the enormous body across the clearing. You killed a Class A dragon. Yes. Alone. Yes. A long silence. You are 16 years old, she said. Yes. Senna looked at him. Then at the dragon. Then back again. The mana core you absorbed, she said quietly. Class A. What is happening to you right now? It hurts, said Leo honestly. And it's good. Senna was quiet. You are not an ordinary mage. No, an absorption core, she said. Not a question. Not everyone knew of such cores, but experienced warriors had heard of them. Legends. Theory. Yes, said Leo. She's handling the information well, he noted. No panic, no exclamations. Just taking it in and thinking. I won't tell anyone, said Senna. Thank you. Don't mention it. She stood. Can you walk? In an hour. All right. She walked toward the unit, then stopped. Turned. Hydra. Yes. The Crown's army will arrive in 9 days. A pause. The zone of instability won't close on its own. While the boundary is thin, creatures will keep coming through. The dragon was alone. For now. A pause. In a month or two something of Class S may come from deep within the zone. Leo looked at her. Class S, he thought. After the Class A dragon, the absorption core will grow significantly. Roughly rank B now. Higher after integration. But Class S against rank B, that's not a fight. That's death. A month or two, he repeated. Maybe sooner. Senna looked at him evenly. Just so you know. I know, said Leo. I need a month for integration. Then I'll come back. You'll come back. Yes. She nodded. Left. Leo stayed sitting in the grass. Breathing. Looking at the dead dragon. Class A, he thought. The first. The Hydra was the first, but not intentional. This was the first intentional one. Rank B after integration. Approximately. Master Ain will be pleased. Then he thought of something else. A Class S creature in the zone of instability. 2 months at most. After integration, rank B. Against a Class S that won't be enough. Which means in 2 months I need several more absorptions. Class A creatures from the zone of instability. They come out regularly. Senna said so. One dragon. The first. Not the last. He stood slowly. His legs held. Good. He took his mother's dagger from his belt. Looked at the small engraved flower on the hilt. It helped, he thought. Mother was right. He put it back. Turned toward the mountains. The zone of instability. There, in the fog. The boundary thin. The mana dense. Creatures coming through. 1 month for integration.